So, Mr. Joe Kadenge,
a
football legend,
yes,
a well-known footballer who has done great for this country.
Am I known? Who says I'm known?
You're well known all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
That one you all know.
But always people don't know the person because they just know the name, but sometimes they don't know me.
They don't
Yes,
know the real guy.
exactly.
Thank God we know you. We had you play. We saw you on TV, and now we are here.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Kadenge, let me first start with the wrangles in the country. You personally played soccer during the days when football didn't pay much. You were playing for pride of your country. Now you have gone professional, but the situation is very bad. It can easily return us back to the old days. So, what is your take? What do you think should be done to both FKF and KPL? Because by the look of things, you may end up being banned by FIFA.
I won't mind even if we are banned because there's nothing we are doing at the moment. So if we are banned, probably people can sit down and organize themselves. And then things can improve later on. Then they can know where they made mistakes, then they can correct it. But right now, even me, I'm not happy. Because my chakula is actually football. I love seeing football being played. At least every weekend I must go and watch football. But these things have now become, I don't know how we can call it, but it is just very bad. People are running football, are fighting from morning to evening, from morning to morning. I don't know how they can correct these mistakes. And I don't see anything difficult here. If these guys can sit together and forget their differences, I think we can head somewhere, but they don't want to. So football in Kenya is really very upsetting. We don't know. Something must be done.
So your take to KPL and FKF is that they sit down, discuss if the two teams should be added on the league, or they just have the 16 team, then ensure that there's two teams added next season.
The 16 teams does not even matter. 16, 18, whatever. You know, if people can sit down and say we want to do this, plan what to do. Because most of these people, some of them have got no interest in football. They don't have interest. They don't know that fans are suffering not to see football. No, if you tell me which team is playing on this weekend, you can't tell me. It is only one team that I think is playing this weekend, and that is representing our country, which is Gor Mahia is playing against Congo AFC Leopards. Yes, so and I think most of the people I think it is AFC Leopards of Kenya, but it is actually FC of Congo. So that's the only game we have in this country this weekend, and we hope we are going to win because we want to go and support that team. That's only the team we have at the moment, so we should go and support them this weekend. Everybody should go and support them. It is only the team we have, and we should go and give them moral support so that they can qualify, so that we, at least we have one team that we can be going to support.
Every weekend or after every 2 weeks?
Yes, over 2 weeks, yes.
So Kadenge, I've heard you say this guy need to sit down and talk. That's everyone's opinion. Now, I would like to ask you a different question from the wrangles. You personally played soccer during days where there were no money. Nowadays, these players, they get some good cash from the football, but they end up retiring poor. What is your take? Because you personally, I know you run maybe a taxi business, and maybe you organize yourself, you know how to save your money. What is your take on these young boys who after retirement, they have nothing. They go back to the streets begging?
People always think that I ran taxi. Actually, that was a job that I thought I could be relaxing, meeting friends from all over the country or from abroad. I meet friends, I make friends with them. But in taxis these days, there's no business. And me as an old man now, it is not easy for me to be driving in the roads. You can see what type of traffic we have in Nairobi. And you don't expect somebody like Joe Kadenge on the street, but it's just too much. At the age of, I will be 80 years on Monday. My birthday will be on Monday, 16th. Yeah. That's 80 years. 8, not 80, not 8, but 80. 80 years. You know, when I tell people that I'm 80, they don't believe.
Sure.
But if I tell them I was born in 1935, sometimes they say I'm cheating. I'm not cheating. I'm always saying the truth.
What is your secret behind?
I wish I was young instead of being old like this, you know. But God has been taking care of me, so I think I thank Him for keeping me alive. It is really very sad for me. I was playing football for this nation, and I would say my name is still talked all over.
The Hall of Fame.
Yeah. People talk about Kadenge and mpira. We were just playing for the love of the game. There was no money. If somebody gave you 50 shillings, you will be very proud that I've got 50 shillings with me. But we are playing for the nation, for your name,
for the
love of the game, and for your name, to make a name and the flag of this country. But people thought that Kadenge was playing football, Kadenge and mpira, he was getting money. We had no professional football those days. At least these days we can say we have got professional football because players are being paid. We were not being paid at all, and most of the players were working. Most of them, even those who are playing the Premier League now, most of them were working for railways, for other companies, so that when you are free or the team is playing, always you must get permission from your company. So those days, there was no money. Money, you would only be given a few shillings and nothing else. And accommodation, when you are going to play, they give you an accommodation, then you are given food, and you say thanks God, and you continue.
So what is your take on these young men who don't invest? They just squander their money. What would you like to tell them? In actual fact, even in Kenya, I would say that the money they are getting, I don't know whether it's enough. It's actually for chakula and paying house rent and whatever. So they don't have money that like other teams abroad are being paid. So you can blame them, but in Kenya, those who are professional, really the money they get, they have got families to take care. So it might not be even enough. But when I blame, when people get money, they want to show themselves. So,
and
may I ask, would you agitate the current teams to ensure that they search for sponsors, to ensure they boost the salaries of these young men so that they can at least get something to invest in future?
Of course we need sponsors, because in olden days we didn't have sponsors. People used to spend money from their own pockets to pay players. But these days sponsors have come in. At least there is something they can get after giving their money. So I think those people are very important. Sponsors are very important to the game of this Kenya. For example, if I give an example, people like Safaricom were doing a great help to the football in this country. People like Supersport. So if Supersport were not in this country, I don't know where we would be in football, but they have contributed quite a lot to football in this country. Yes.
So let's go back to our national team. We saw the African Cup Nations recently. Teams were there. The teams who used to beat Kina Faso, Kina Gabon, teams that never used to beat us were there. They shone. But with us, we have to adopt a new team every time the African Cup of Nations is being done. What do you think is the solution to our poor show in the national team?
I think I was one of the...
At the moment, we can't say that they are wrangles and they are ambassadors. They go to camp. Is it that we are not talented? Is it that we are not committed? Is it that we don't have the skills? We can't match other teams? Because we were beaten by a dismal team, Lesotho. We were within the stadium when Lesotho beat us.
Yeah.
What is your take on the national team performance, leave alone the wrangles, national team performance? Is it coaching? But
you can say the wrangles did not make any differences, But if you think really, without proper arrangements, You could not go anywhere, because I was one of the person who was really upset that we are not going to have a team playing in the Africa Cup of Nations. At least we should have been there. Being beaten by Lesotho, that was really bad. You know, the population of Lesotho is a very small. It is not even Nairobi. Is bigger than Lesotho, and we lost to Lesotho. That was a blunder we did, and I was upset not watching football on the TV. My team being played there. You know, sometimes when you don't have your team, you don't have that heart of watching other teams playing, and your team is not there. So I think there was a bit of not proper arrangement. In Kenya, we have got so many good, talented players. If we take care of them, we are paying them. They cannot complain they are not being paid. They are being paid, but some of them are not committed, and people don't even notice. Some of our players are drink, they smoke. You know, they are not kept together. You know, I remember when we used to play football, you'll find players at the same place they go to a hotel and they stay together for 2 days, you know, talking about the football they are going to play. But these days, I don't know what it happens, but it is really very absurd for our team, what it has been doing in the past few days or a few years.
So, I've heard you coming up. And do you think if you had maybe a good scouting unit that goes around the country looking for the best talent and ensure that they are brought together in camp? I understand during your days there were camps like Nakuru camp, which I understand got some very good players.
Yeah, we used to go even to Jin school, to Jin school. The team goes to Jin school, but here sometimes they go to a big hotel and they think, we are now the kings. But, if you treat people very, very well, they should also show to the nation that we are being looked after, and then we want also to look after our nation. But people are not committed when they play football. I don't know.
So, let's talk about your club, former club AFC Leopards. Your love, your very good club which you really love. What is happening in the den?
I don't know if I can tell you. Probably somebody who can tell you what's happening in the club will be probably those who are taking care of the club right now, or the officials.
Because what is the solution? Because AFC keep changing coaches every season. Now they have sacked the team manager. They have suspended captain in Balambala. There's Obwora who is claiming to be the chairman. We have Kasavule. We have Kenyan. Everyone, everywhere. What is the solution to these wrangles? Do you think this guys should see?
The same, from the national team, it has gone down to the clubs now.
Far most for community clubs.
Yes, it is now. It is also very upsetting. If our nation has got a problem, how would you correct the clubs? Clubs will say you make your house better, clean your house before you come to us. Because how do you have a problem with the national team? Obviously, the clubs will have problems. But if you don't have problems with the national team, obviously the clubs will follow and behave well, not to bring problems into the management of the team. But I'm very, very, very sorry for what is happening with the AFC Leopards, because we have tried to call them together so that we can see how best we can help them to organize. Because sometimes all the players, when you go near the club, sometimes they think you want to take over. But we don't want to take over. We want to give just advice to the club.
Because you have experience.
Yes, we have experience. But sometimes, it's just like your father. If your father wants to give you an advice, why would you say, no, when you are young, that was your days. But it is now our days. You should also listen to them. If it is a good one, a good advice, you take. If it is a bad one, you just keep quiet and you don't take it. Sure. So this is what people, sometimes they don't like to see the old guys. They say, akili yako iliisha bwana, so they don't want to be near your house. Yes.
So Kadenge, thank you so much. I've heard you. I just want to give the public one more, your parting shot on the current wrangles. What if you're given a chance now to meet Nyamwe and Oguda on the same table? What would you tell them? the parting shot. What will you tell these two football chiefs up there?
I'll just tell them to swallow their pride and let the football continue as it used to be. We are not happy for them quarreling from time to time or otherwise. I'll ask them to dress up, the officials of KPL to dress up, and FK to dress up, and let's see what they can do on the pitch. We give them a ball and a referee and put them on the pitch. We want to see how they play football. If they are really good footballers on the pitch, then it would make our football to go forward.
Thank you so much.